Welcome everybody, and today we're taking a look at another Blu-ray label that I've recently gotten into, and it is an Australian label, and they are called Umbrella Entertainment. Now, unbeknownst to me, I had already bought one of their releases, and that was The Blob, the remake from 1988. So, yeah, I for the longest time already had this from them, but I didn't realise that they were a far bigger company than this release. So, yeah, I bought several of them recently. Somehow got them just before Christmas, and yeah, so we'll take a look at them. And yeah, first of which is Tokyo Godfathers, which is an anime film. I think this is my first anime film that I've bought for myself. But yeah, it's a great release about three homeless people who come across an abandoned baby and yeah, try and find its parents basically. And yeah, it's really, really good, really funny, really charming. Got a fantastic voice cast, got really good animation. And yeah, it's just really, really well done. And I think it's a Christmas orientated film in some regards as well. Or maybe I'm just misremembering. But yeah, fantastic film. And yeah, highly recommend watching it if you haven't already. And yeah, they don't do anything mega special with these discs outside of the couple of more limited edition versions that I've got. But yeah, there's only one film though out of this lot that I haven't seen, and that is Stephen King's Silver Bullet. Now, there are a whole host of werewolf movies released in the 80s. You had American Werewolf in London, The Howling, Wolfen. But yeah, this is one of the later ones from 1985. But yeah, it's got a good cast, Corey Haim and Gary Busey. So yeah, I've enjoyed stuff from them before. And yeah, so it looks interesting enough. I like the disc cover as well. It's nice that they actually print the discs as well, even though these are the basic versions. And then we've also got from the 80s another basically animal attack kind of film, and it's a Razorback. This is from 1981, I think it is. Yeah. It's not saying on the back of it. But yeah, regardless, this is a really, really good film. It's easily one of the best so-called Jaws knockoffs, because obviously it's got, you know, an animal attacking innocent people and all that, but this goes in a kind of a different direction, a much darker direction, much more violent direction in some regards, and yeah, genuinely makes Australia, in this film at least, look like a hellscape in some regards, with a lot of fog and, you know, a lot of deterioration being shown on the screen. So yeah, fantastic effort really, and yeah, again, another film I highly recommend if you haven't seen it so far. And then from George A. Romero, we have Creepshow. So yeah, this is also another Stephen King film in some regards, because he helped write it, and he also stars in one of the stories, because this is an anthology film. And yeah, cracking anthology film, probably my favourite anthology film in that respect, because yeah, there's pretty much none of the stories that I don't like, and there are 5 of them. So yeah, really, really good film. Not sure if this has had a new release in any other country or all that lot, but this is the only way I could find it for a UK release. So yeah, and obviously Australian films on Blu-ray and 4K are the same region as over here in the UK, region B. So yeah, well worth getting. And another film that you could say is a kind of a Jaws knockoff, but again, not really, and it is Orca the Killer Whale. Now, the orca in this is actually sympathetic, because I think it's his family gets killed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's yeah. It was Orca seeking to revenge the death of his pregnant mate, left murdered in blood red water. So yeah, even though it is a sea creature attacking people, kind of like Jaws, but the orca in this is more sympathetic by a long way, because obviously he can sympathise with it getting revenge on the people that have killed its pregnant mate. So yeah, got a good cast as well. You got Richard Harris and Charlotte Rampling, and yeah, it's a really, really good effort, quite frankly, and it's from 1977. So yeah, that's celebrating its 45th anniversary. And then finally, 2 more special edition versions, because they've got really rather nice slip covers on them. And the first of those is Sliver, directed by James Gunn, who obviously went on to do Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad, I think it was. But yeah, really, really nice cover. And this is a great horror comedy, quite frankly, from 2005, 6, I think it was. Doesn't say. Yeah, I think it was roughly around the mid 2000s, but still, it's got again, another nice cover on there, and then basically a shot from the film, because this is about slugs that invade people's bodies and basically eat them from the inside out. And yeah, really nicely done, really funny. Got a good cast as well. I think you've got the likes of Nathan Dillon and Elizabeth Banks. No, Nathan Fillion even. Sorry, and yeah, Elizabeth Banks and Michael Rooker as well. So yeah, really good cast and a really funny film. And finally, I think this is the newest release out of the bunch. It is The Limey, directed by Steven Soderbergh. And yeah, again, really good cast. You got Terence Stamp and Henry Fonda, who are both really good. And yeah, really nice slipcover on this as well, especially with the rear, which has a bit of excerpt there, which is, he travelled over 5,000 miles to find his daughter. Instead, he found her killer. And that's the basic premise of this, basically. So yeah, you've also got Louis Guzman in this as well, and Barry Newman. And yeah, really nicely done release, which again has another excerpt in there. And yeah, this was released, I think it was this year. Again, I'm not used to Australian reverse covers on them. They usually say something on here on UK releases, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's saying anything. But it was released in 1999, and yeah, it's a fantastic film, quite frankly. Easily one of my favourite Terence Stamp leading roles. And yeah, he'd obviously previously in the 90s had a really good effort in the form of The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. So yeah, this is another fantastic effort from him in the 90s. So yeah, fantastic film. And yeah, that's a fantastic bunch of films really that I can't quite frankly find anywhere else. Yeah, there's no UK releases of these films that I've been able to find. So yeah, really glad to get them. And they weren't all that expensive either, especially when you include the fact it's had to have a lot of shipping. It's got to come all the way from Australia to the UK, and it even showed me on the map how far and how many countries it's gone over, like Mongolia and China and Russia and several European countries as well. So yeah, really good films. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Silver Bullet, because I really do like my werewolf films. But regardless, if you've seen any of these films, I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.